Welcome to another lecture from my series, Analytical Interpretations, Insights and Inspirations. This month we will explore Franz Liszt's Hungarian Rhapsody no. 6, written in 1854, when Liszt was 43 years old. I strongly believe that Liszt's greatest contributions to the history of music is the collections of 15 Hungarian rhapsodies and 4 more rhapsodies in the Hungarian mood, a total of 19 rhapsodies. First, here is the starting question. What is a rhapsody? There are several prominent features in a rhapsody that Merriam-Webster's dictionary describes nicely. First, it is on an epic scale. It is poetic and narrative, or a storytelling. Second, it is consisted of several fragments put together. Third, its nature is passionate and will reach an ecstatic climax by the end. Fourth, it is also improvisatory and has a free form, or mostly in a true composed fashion. Now let us take a look at Liszt's Hungarian Rhapsody no. 6. In part 1 of my lecture, we will explore what is so rhapsodic in Liszt's Hungarian Rhapsody no. 6. We will take a look at each feature that is described in Merriam-Webster's dictionary and find each of them in this Rhapsody of Franz Liszt. Most 19 rhapsodies of Liszt have their opening in a grand manner, and we found this grand, majestic spirit in this Hungarian Rhapsody no. 6. Almost all of these rhapsodies have a gigantic closure, in a festive, triumphant mood. Another epic scale in this rhapsody is its poetic and narrative nature. The music is very evocative. It portrays well the great adventures any human being must wander. Moving to the next feature, it is a common practice to put together different fragments in a rhapsody. This applies to all rhapsodies that take and stitch together various melodies, and many of them were from the traditional Hungarian mixed with the nomadic gypsy melodies. All Liszt rhapsodies have a mosaic structure, and this Hungarian Rhapsody 6 provides an excellent example. Here is the opening section. What a dignified, dance-like, strong, accented steps. Still in a similar, strong dance step fashion, the B section gives a sweet contrasting mood starting in a subdominant level. Then comes the section C, also in a dance fashion, but in a much faster tempo and lighter texture. I can imagine in this section some people in traditional attires merrily, happily doing the tap dance. Next, the D section is a contrasting minor, slow sections of the rhapsody. This D section could represent the Lasan part or the slow part of a rhapsody. It is like a recitative, and I believe this storytelling section is at the heart of Liszt's Rhapsody. The slow part tends to be soloistic in singing style in contrast to the more instrumental style of the other sections. Liszt marked this part quasi-improvisator, giving freedom the improvisatory nature of a rhapsody. Following the lasan is the frisca, the fast section. This is the common pairing in Liszt rhapsodies, lasan and frisca, slow and fast sections. Here it is again more instrumental or more like group singing. From here on, the excitement is gradually built up until it reaches its climax in a quiet, wild ending. Many of Liszt rhapsodies are organized into two main sections. I briefly mentioned this earlier. The slow sections or lasan is often more solistic in singing style with the utmost freedom to improvise. The slow sections followed by the fast sections, frisca, that is often more like group singing or instrumental. The fast section, frisca, is often will lead to an ecstatic ending, overflowing excitements, and surely virtuosic displays, like in this rhapsody with its cruel long octave passage. Now to the last feature of this rhapsody. A rhapsody is the true product of romanticism in which the spirit longs to be free. It follows no rule, and it exploits emotion to the max. It is full of decoration as well. One of the strong impressions of Liszt rhapsody is its abundance of cadenzas. Many times the cadenza functions as the bridge from one section to another, like in this example, from the slow section lasan to the fast section frisca. Now to the second part of my lecture. In a piece that has multiple fragments so varied, it is very crucial to have some unifying elements. If not, the piece is going to be desperately scattered. In this second part, we will see these unifying elements in Liszt Hungarian Rhapsody number 6. The first thread is the syncopated accentuations. Interestingly, we find the rhapsodic nature not only in the structure, but also in the elements that bind the fragments together. Naturally, it is a strong beat that will receive a strong emphasis, but here it is the weak beat creating playful spirit. Also look at the reverse slur. The release with staccato is placed on the stronger beat. This syncopated accentuations truly gives this Hungarian Rhapsody 6 its distinct quality. The green and yellow colors here mark the stronger beats. The play between the weak and the strong beats make the rhythm to feel very fresh, very unexpected, freely playful, uninhibited spirit. The same syncopated accentuations in other sections happens. In this slow section, Liszt maintained the syncopation on the second quavers in a gentle way, submitting this thread to the accompaniment. And here is the syncopated accentuations at the famous finale. Now, the second element that unifies the whole mosaic structure is the stepwise drop, both in the melodic and the bass lines. And again here, we find the rhapsodic spirit in the thread that binds together all fragments. I think this is the genius and the craftsmanship of Liszt. This means the thread itself is the rhapsody, the unexpected. Look at the second excerpt. Liszt reharmonized the stepwise drop. Let's listen to it. Here is another example at the end of the phrase that stepwise drop in a combination with the syncopated accentuations, so crafty. And the excitement continues. Let's reharmonize the stepwise drop. Look the red to purple from D flat to C, which is a half step drop, but also the yellow and green, with new fresh harmony A major and B flat minor, so unexpected, so rhapsodic. Here is also the abrupt chord progressions, half step down from G flat to F major. Here is another example in another section. Same feature. The purple one is from D flat half step down to C, and the green one from G flat half step down to F. And in the finale section, the stepwise motif does explain the existence of the awkward but amazingly sounding B minor half step down to B flat major. Perhaps here is the famous merciless slips, alternating between B minor and B flat major. The integrity of this rhapsody is so strong, even to the very end. Now, one more unifying element. It is the phrase ending. The rhythm of the ending is not on the strong beat, but the middle of the beat. And this creates the atmosphere as if hanging in the air. Again, this is expressing the spirit of freedom. It portrays the flying gesture. And same here, and another, and another. I am just showing here the same thread on different sections. How the phrase ends on the weak beat. Again, I would like to emphasize the rhapsodic spirit is in the thread, not just in the structure as I showed in the first part of my lecture, but also implanted in the unifying elements, making this rhapsodic spirit down to the bones and muscles of this piece. Even the ending, after the final cadence of dominant tonic, Liszt added 2 more chords. Therefore, following the pattern, the strongest of the 3 final B-flat major chords is on the first one, rhythmically speaking. But of course, melodically speaking would be the last one since it falls with the first scale degree of the key. I hope by now you may capture what is so rhapsodic in this rhapsody. The rhapsodic nature happens at both the structural and the unifying elements. I can say the rhapsodic spirit takes place at the bones and muscles of this piece.